Good girl. Well, you can see it, Tubes. But we've done some more work on the beak, look. She's happy. Poppets. Probably thinks I'm still playing with it. That. I'll show you this other side. So good girl. Whether you can see that, Tubes, I don't know. Good girl. Clever girl. Clever girl. She's a bit twiddly, Tubes, because I've just been doing a beak. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Do you love Dad? Yeah, you have to look after them, Tubes. See, look, the beak's coat's nice now. I wash the feet every day. There, let's show you that beak now, Tubes. Well, it's good anyway, Tubes. Look after them, Tubes. What with, I was just show you the food chart. Right, here's the food chart. Right, 9.8 ounces, whenever that was. 9.3, and this is tomorrow's too. She's got 9 ounces. That's how it's worked out. So that means rabbit, quail. This means enterodox. Rabbit, quail, enterodox. Now we'll stop that now for a week or 10 days. That's rabbit, quail, and shin beef. So the enterodox, we'll give it to her probably no more than once a week, but we'll go back down again to probably once every 10 days because you can overdose on that. It's good for them, Tubes. I give it to racehorses and everything, so it's a supplement, food vitamin supplement. So, and it helps them with any digestive problems or anything. But it is good for them, Tubes, while she's molting. So, I'm very pleased with her, Tubes. She lets me take a little, look, playing with her toy, look. She loves playing with her toys. And look, Tubes, there's not one feather damaged. Despite what other people might say, this, that and the other, since she's been with me, she hasn't damaged one feather. Not one feather on her has been damaged. Which is an achievement, Tubes, because she's still only young and she was new to me. That's an achievement. The feet, yeah, I'll wash them later on, but if she has any food on them, Tubes, I'll wash them there and then normally. Then she washes, I'll wash them every night. I forgot what I was going to tell you now, Tubes. Yes, not one feather's damaged on her, Tubes, not one. And we've had her since January the 31st. So it's May, January, whatever it is anyway. It's 4 months at the end of this month. We've had her 3.5 months there and about, it's just over or something like that. So we've only had her 3.5 months. Well, however long that is, Tubes, I forget now. And not one feather on that bird, not one feather. It's been broken. Not one feather. Not one. Not one tail, not one feather. She's molting now. Good girl. Do you love old Dad? Do you love old Dad? Do you love old Daddy? Do you love old Daddy? Yeah, we look at that beak, Tubes. Nice, isn't it? Hey? Hey? You have to look after them, Tubes. Look at that. How nice that is now. Clever girl. Look after them, Tubes. And some people might be scared to cope an eagle's beak, but I brought it in to come up with an idea to do it, Tubes, that doesn't stress her. We don't want to stress, do we, Pop? When I put her to bed at night now and what's it, my wife probably, I better not say, but she kisses me now, Tubes, and everything. But you have to know your bird. So you haven't heard me say that, Tubes, because the wife might get a bit jealous. But she probably won't, but you never know, you know what they're like, Tubes. She gets a bit worried if I do that, but you have to know your bird, Tubes. Like she's playing now, and I know if she's in a good mood, I know the difference between a good mood and a bad mood. Now it was raining earlier on, Tubes, and I put her in her house, and she was happy. I put her in there, she didn't try and fly off or nothing, or bait. We were stood in the doorway, she was happy. She knew I was putting her in there out of the weather. I left her for half hour or so, because it's good to weather them. I get her out every morning, and she's happy to come out. She doesn't try and bait or nothing. Now she's getting better. Going back in there now. She baits less and less. She goes back in there nicer and nicer. She's learning now that it's good to go in there, you know, with her. She doesn't have to rock and roll and do this and the other. So the problem is they can be grumpy when they're molting, because when they're molting you feed them up really well, Tubes. So you know, when they're on heavy, when they're like heavy, they can get grumpy as well, so that don't help. But you need to have them like that, so they get all the goodness into their new growing feathers. Because a golden eagle can have up to 10,000 feathers, believe it or not. So there's a lot of work and a lot of effort that goes in to these feathers, Tubes. It's good girl, ain't you, Poppet? Good girl. Good girl. Clever girl. Clever girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Look at that beak, Tubes. I'm pleased with that. That was a worry. How was I going to do this and that, Tubes? Do you see? But I've come up with a nice plan and it's worked. Look at that. Aye, it's perfectly looked after, Tubes. Now, no matter what other people might say, she's perfect health, perfectly looked after. Not one feather has she broken, damaged. Not one feather on her, Tubes. And I find that with a bird of her age, I find that, and being here, I find that remarkable. You know, if she was a little bit, if I'd have had her for a while, like next year, I can understand next year. If there's any feathers broken, that's more down to me. But she will be going out, she will be flying more, so there's probably, might get damaged then, but that's testimony, Tubes, because a new bird doesn't know me. She was frightened of me. They bait a lot. If you're not careful, we've tried to avoid that, and our feathers, not one of them's got broken, Tubes, so I'm well pleased with that. And also what I'm pleased with is all my views I'm getting and my subscribers. We know it's down to all my nice new views. So thank you. I thank you, because I want to get to the 100 days. So I thank you, everybody. Bucking, Alex, Cynthia, Swede, whatever it is, I forget now. Spencer. So thank you all. That's nothing much else to do, Tubes. I wish I'd have recorded it earlier on. Me picking her up, she was fine. Walking her into her mews, she was fine. She just was so relaxed. I even stood in the doorway with her because she didn't want to jump off. She just wanted to watch from the doorway for a minute or two. She was ever so good. And look at that beak, Tubes. Look at that. You can't tell me that ain't coped reasonably well now. Take a bit off the length sometime. That's what I'm going to work on now more. But you must keep the beak nice, Tubes, so they can close the beak properly. It's all nice, Tubes. Right then, so thank you, Tubes. Thank you, Bucking. It's an honour for me to know all you people, you good kind people. It's an honour for me. So take care, Tubes, and chick catch you later.